I'm a firm believer that women are the backbone of society.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that women are the drivers of our economy.
Yeah.
And so for me, the economic growth and
Mm.
economic development of women
Mm.
is high up on my list.
Mm.
And so women specifically, because I believe that when you build the confidence and capabilities of women,
Mm.
they're able to take on bigger roles.
Hi family, welcome to Real Life Stories with Boitumelo Mankuroane. For those who do not know me, I am your host Boitumelo Mankuroane. Today it is a brand new day and a lovely one, a special one in fact, let me put it that way. Wherever you are watching, if it is your first time, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you hit it, and wherever you are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please do that. Please do that. And if you have subscribed already, you are more than welcome and I love you so much. This is a family to keep. Wherever you are, just grab that chair and sit, and you will never regret. To the returnings, you are more than welcome. You know, this family was never going to exist if you were not a part of it. I really appreciate. Today, I have somebody that is special. I have somebody by the name of Ntsoaki Sibiya, an impact-driven woman, a businesswoman in a security company. Let me say, in a security industry. You know, the industry that we know that this one is for men, but she took courage that let me be there. And in everything that she's doing, she likes to impart it to all her mentees. So I just want us to look at her today, and let me say, we are grateful to have you today.
Thank you for having me, Boitumelo.
Thank you so much
I
for
feel
joining
so
us.
welcome. Thank you.
Oh, we love you. I know me and my people, we love you.
Thank
You are
you.
more than welcome. And can you please tell us about yourself? I know already I've said
Yeah.
impact driven
Yes.
because I believe I'm seeing it. I've
Yes.
seen it.
Yes.
Yes, can you please tell us a bit about
Thank
yourself?
you. I actually love that question. I know a lot of people cringe
Yes.
when they are asked to introduce themselves and
Mm.
tell us about yourself. You know, that
Yes.
question.
Yes.
But I love that question because it gives me the opportunity to express the essence of who I am. So my name
Yes.
is Ntsoaki Sibiya.
Mm-hmm.
Ke peo ya bahlakwana,
Atom.
okhethwe ngosotobe.
Yes.
My seed stems from the beautiful soil of Madatiele,
Yes.
which is on the western foothills of the Drakensberg Mountains.
Okay.
My roots are where I discovered that entrepreneurship was a career option for me,
Mm-hmm.
and have set a lot of the path and ground on which I stand today as a businesswoman, as
Yes.
a mother, as a
Yes.
wife. You
Yes.
know, my late father was an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
and he owned buses
Mm.
and several businesses, in fact, before he owned buses. And then he sold that to then focus on the bus industry.
Yes.
And my mother, although she was a teacher, she also had various side hustles, you
Mm.
know, various businesses just to generate an extra income for herself.
Mm.
And so entrepreneurship, leadership, a strong work ethic was something that was introduced to me very early in my childhood.
Mm.
And, you know, that impact as well then trickled onto me. And
Yes.
so as I introduce myself, because
Yes.
that is the essence of who I am, and that is where I am deeply rooted.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
So today we are having her as a business and a life and career coach. So she's going to be telling us about mentorship. She's going to be telling us how is she going to assist us? How is she going to mentor us? How are we going to thrive into the path that we want to become? Yes. Can before we start with this
Mm.
ball, what is mentorship?
Mentorship, you know, it took a while for me to actually articulate, you
Yes.
know, this phenomenon of mentorship.
Hmm.
Especially because growing up, you know, we had our parents and we had people we looked up to as well
Yes.
in terms of the work that they're doing
Hmm.
and the knowledge and experience that they are imparting onto us. And so it took a while for me to be able to actually articulate what mentorship is. But in a nutshell, mentorship is getting advice,
Yeah.
right? And the gift of gaining that knowledge and acquiring that experience and that
Mm.
wisdom from somebody who's further along than you, right?
Yes.
It's getting credible
mm,
advice from somebody who's walked the journey that you would like to walk,
mm,
who's gone and taken that drive,
mm,
and they are then now imparting
mm.
this onto you as a mentee. So that is in essence, in a nutshell, what mentorship is. Because in general, as people, whatever crafts that we are in, whatever journeys that we are on,
Mm.
we all want to accelerate our growth and development. And so, in order to accelerate that growth and development, and to just yonder into the horizon of what your capabilities are,
Yes.
you would need a mentor.
Oh, yes, I
Yeah.
hear. And can one be mentored from a distance? Let's say, um, I see you, more
Mm,
especially on social media platform.
mm.
Can I be mentored by just looking at you?
You can be mentored virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And you can, I suppose, get certain elements or characteristics of somebody. You look at them
Mm,
and you watch how they carry themselves, you watch what they are doing,
mm,
and the essence of who they are and
mm,
how they navigate through life,
mm,
and take that as mentorship,
mm,
right? Some people take it as role models as
mm,
well, because they modeling the role of what I want to become.
mm,
So it is possible to be mentored from a distance,
mm,
or to be mentored by somebody you don't know or who doesn't know you.
mm,
It's possible. I mean, a lot of people get mentored through podcasts, through
mm,
reading,
mm,
through various
mm.
ways of mentorship. So,
Mm.
I mean, it's a wide,
That's wide.
in terms of mentorship, in terms of how you can achieve mentorship and being mentored,
Okay.
right? But I think grasping the essence or accelerating yourself is better when it's a one-on-one mentorship
Mm,
relationship with somebody, because they are able to impart knowledge based on exactly where you are in your
mm,
life,
mm,
and dissect the level that you're at in your life,
mm,
and then try and help you navigate it from that particular point.
mm.
So it's obviously much better to be mentored in person by somebody. But I mean, it's not weird to have a mentor that doesn't know that you're actually mentoring
Oh, I
them.
hear. And I think uh, this question really it is
Mm,
helping me because I think growing up,
mm,
I knew and I know now, even now that I had role models,
yes,
people that I looked up to.
yes.
But as I look at it now, the things that I was looking at,
Mm,
it is not really diamond, it is glitters because I don't know how they achieved,
mm, mm,
and now I'm getting to know and understand what is mentorship, and you need
mm,
a direct one, so that
mm.
the distance one, even for myself, it's like it didn't work.
It didn't work for you there. No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with role models. Like I'm saying, for me, role models is somebody who's modeling a specific
Yeah.
role,
Mm,
that you are either intrigued by, or certain characteristics that you probably actually even have within yourself,
mm,
you know. And so mentorship then takes it a notch up, because this is now having a conversation and
mm,
having a relationship with somebody who understands the landmines, the
mm,
speed bumps,
mm.
of how to get to where you want to go. So the
Yeah.
journey that you want to take or embark on, it's always better to find out from somebody who's taken that journey, in terms of
Yes.
how did you get there? How did you achieve that?
Mm. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And when was your first experience of mentorship growing up?
I would say that my first experience of mentorship, obviously looking up to my parents,
Yeah.
my late father,
Mm,
my mother, my grandmother. I had a hockey coach who was one of my first mentors.
mm,
And obviously seeing them, and them having seen potential in me and honing that,
mm,
you know, I couldn't define that that was mentorship at
mm,
the time, you
mm,
know. And for me as well, having this thing where when I was good at something, whether it was a sport that I
mm,
was good at,
mm,
or whether it was a certain subject that I was good at, I
mm,
always had this thing of wanting to help the next person grow. So if somebody wanted to master that craft, which I was good at,
mm,
I always found fulfillment in trying to assist them. I
mm,
remember with hockey specifically, because I was quite good with hockey,
mm,
and there was a neighboring school, and the girls, they struggled,
mm,
with hockey. And I would always take time out to say, let me teach you how to play
Yeah.
hockey so
Mm.
that the next time you play against us, you
Mm.
will be better.
Yes.
You will
It
be
started at
better
a
and
very
we won't just be running circles around you. So
mm.
I found fulfillment in doing such things. In athletics, I was very good at discus, javelin.
Wow.
And if somebody wanted to learn how to do that, I'd be like, let me assist you, for you to also master that craft.
Mm.
And so obviously at the time I couldn't articulate that was in a form mentorship, mentoring the next person
Mm.
to grow and develop in their craft.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say, it goes back. I think the first memory of mentorship for me was at 7 years old.
My God.
Yeah.
So you have been for the people.
I've been for the people. I love being for people. I love seeing people grow. I love
Mm.
seeing people develop. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why we are going to develop from today.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So you mentor women specifically. Why is
Yes.
it important that we should just focus on, in our society, focus on women specifically, women
Mm,
mentorship?
I'm a firm believer that women are the backbone of society.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that women are the drivers of our economy.
Yeah.
And so for me, the economic growth and
Mm.
economic development of women
Mm.
is high up on my list.
Mm.
And so women specifically, because I believe that when you build the confidence and capabilities of women,
Mm.
they're able to take on bigger roles,
Yeah.
whether it's in their communities, whether it's in their homes.
Mm.
And societies and communities thrive when women are empowered.
Mm.
And so for me, that's why it's very important to mentor women specifically. Also because of our history, as women, we've always had the back burner in terms of how we are progressing.
Yes.
And so I feel that women specifically need mentorship to just grow and to elevate and to thrive in whatever that they're doing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
And do you think people in managerial levels need mentorship?
absolutely. Of
Oh,
course. Absolutely. Everybody needs mentorship. Even
okay.
presidents have mentors.
Okay.
Everybody needs somebody who's a sounding board. Do you
Mm.
understand?
Mm.
Somebody who, when you reach a certain crossroad in your
Mm.
life, somebody that you can contact and say, listen, I've been trying to get through a particular stage,
Mm.
or I've been trying to solve a particular problem, but I keep coming back to this problem. What
Mm.
do you think the issue could be?
Yeah. Mm.
Sometimes you need those type of people because that's what's going to break the glass ceiling for you or to just take you to the next level.
Mm.
And so managers
Mm.
need mentors, ministers, presidents, anybody that you see in a powerful and impact position, in an impactful position,
Mm.
needs a mentor
Mm.
because they need somebody who's going to be that sounding board for them.
And I understand that you are in a male dominant industry.
Yes.
And how did you start, or what motivated you to start in that kind of a business?
Oh, girl, life happened.
Mm.
I had no choice but to, get into that industry. So, entering the security industry, I
Mm.
studied graphic and information design. That's what I studied
Mm.
after my matric.
Mhm.
And, when I completed my studies, I struggled to find employment.
It's like that.
It's like that,
Mm.
I struggled to find employment.
Mm.
And I thought perhaps it would be for like 3, 4 months,
Mm.
send out CVs, just try and just get a foot into the industry. And it didn't happen.
Mm.
And so then I decided to work in the retail sector,
Mm.
just to find financial stability
Mm.
and, to find my feet so that my
Mm.
parents don't tell me to go back home.
Mm.
Because for
Yeah.
me, I was like, I am
Nami,
not
I
going
used to
back
cry.
home.
Yeah.
I am not going back home. So I needed financial stability to just
Mm.
stand on my own 2 feet.
Mm.
And then I worked in retail.
Mm.
And before I knew it, 2 years later, I was still in retail.
My God.
Yeah. For me, that was a moment of feeling unfulfilled.
Mm.
I was very depressed
Mm.
during that time
Mm.
because then also Facebook started, and now
Mm.
you start seeing what your peers are
I
doing.
do it.
Your
Yeah.
high school peers, what are they
Yeah.
doing? They've got their first employments.
Mm.
They're buying their first cars.
Mm.
And that pressure got the best of me. So I was feeling down in the dumps. But then an opportunity came up just after I had my daughter,
Mm.
right? A friend of mine introduced me to a company where she was working. They were an engineering company. and they were looking to start a security division,
mm,
right? Because they didn't want to outsource their security services,
mm.
rather do it in house. And so I started there as a receptionist at this business
Qala phansi.
from scratch.
Yeah.
But I knew for me that this was a foot in,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
I needed to make my mark.
Mm,
And because I didn't have much directive
mm,
from my employers at the time, because they were so focused on the engineering aspect of the business.
mm,
And so nobody actually taught me or told me what goes into the security business. I
mm,
needed to take that initiative for myself,
mm,
you know, and create the
mm,
work on a daily basis
mm,
for myself to understand the context of the industry, the content of the industry,
mm,
and use that as a blueprint
mm,
to just um, start operations from scratch
mm,
and help them build this business, and
mm.
which I did, you know.
Yes.
I think within the first year of working at that business,
Mm.
I had been promoted to the operations
My
manager
God.
of that company.
My
And
God.
already within 2 years,
Mm,
then we had doubled the revenue of
mm,
the business,
mm,
and we were actually acquiring contracts from outside now. It wasn't
mm.
just internal
Yeah.
subcontracting for the engineering business, you
Mm.
know. And so that's where my passion for the industry started.
Wow.
In fact, my passion was more in the people that I was impacting
Mm.
in the industry, because you know that with security sector, a lot of previously disadvantaged individuals
Yeah.
work in that
Mm.
sector.
Mm.
So for me, the stories of these people, where they come from,
Yeah.
and the work that they are putting in as
Mm.
security personnel
Mm.
is what drove me
Mm.
and what I was more passionate about, you know, just to
Mm.
create that empowering environment. 4 years later, I lose my job,
God.
you know,
Mm.
at the security business. You know, if something's not yours, it's not
It's
always
not.
guaranteed,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm.
And I lose my job, and for me that was a defining moment, because I was completely shattered when that happened. I
Mm.
was completely shattered, but I was reminded by my father, my late father, and my now husband, you know, in
Mm.
terms of what I had done for this business, you know,
Mm.
how I had built it from scratch. And if I could do that for somebody else's business, I could certainly do it
Do
for
it for yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
And literally in 2017, January, I decided, okay, through this adversity, I'm going to start my business.
My God.
And I realized then that my fear of starting prior to this, because my dad would always tell me that start your own business.
Mm.
You come from an entrepreneurial family, you come from
Mm.
an entrepreneurial background, you've got the character for it.
Mm.
And so just start. But
Mm.
because you're looking at your peers and nobody's starting a
Mm.
business, you're
Business.
like,
Mm.
oh,
Yeah, it's not
there's
gonna
no
be.
way I'm
Yeah.
going to be the first person to jump into this.
Mm.
And so when I did start and I was forced into the position to actually start, I realized that a lot of my journey was focused on what other people are doing in their lanes. A lot of
Mm.
my journey was not focused on how I'm growing and evolving. And
Mm.
perhaps this is the time for me to start doing that.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
kept my head down, focused, put together a business model, and I started. And I thought to myself, what were they doing there that I can do differently
Mm.
that would propel me to the next level and
Mm.
accelerate my business faster?
Mm.
Because it takes time to grow in such an industry, you
Mm.
understand?
Yes.
And so you need to be really strategic about it.
Yeah.
And I decided to join an incubation
Mm.
program. And
Yes.
that's when I got introduced to mentorship and how mentorship can
Mm.
accelerate you, you know. And so that's where my journey then started in the security industry with the security business. And we're 6 years in now and doing extremely well
Wow.
for a business that's that small, you know, the contracts that we've acquired. And that has been through the power of
Wow.
mentorship, and through taking in that experience that others have imparted onto me, and it didn't take me as long to
Mm.
get to where I am.
You know what? I'm motivated already.
Thank you.
I think somebody like me,
mm,
let me say this. Somebody like me, I've been looking up to a lot of people.
mm,
I will have ideas on
mm,
what to do.
mm,
I can give somebody a business idea that works.
mm, mm,
I have ideas. And I'll know that when I wake up, this is what I'm going to do. Everything that I do now, I know is that I just woke up and I said, let me do this
yeah.
again. I have ideas.
Mm,
But I think the mistake that I did even from a young age is
mm,
not to have a mentor,
mm,
because having a role model
mm,
and a mentor is two different things.
mm,
Because a role model is somebody that you don't know.
mm,
A mentor is somebody that will impart
mm.
what you need. So now it takes me back to when you wanted to start, you were not sure, but your dad was there.
Mm.
Maybe when you've seen him as daddy, but
Yes.
if he was not
Right?
there, you are
Mm.
not going to start.
Probably. I would be dusting off my CV and thinking to myself, okay, where do I. In fact, I did do that. Like, oh gosh, now I need to dust off my CV and see how to amend it so that I can go look for the next employment. And he was like, no ways.
Sure.
Absolutely no. Don't do that.
We thank God for daddy, because before you know it, you were gonna change, apply for the same position, same details, different
Yes.
surnames. You keep on changing. When they call you, said, oh, I forgot, I used my mom's.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Having a mentor plays such a pivotal role
Mm, mm,
in everything that you do, such a
mm,
pivotal role. Also, the secret as well in mentorship is that you also need to know and for yourself,
yeah.
what you want,
Yes.
right? Because
Mm,
it's pointless having a mentor when
mm,
you yourself as a mentee do
mm.
not know
What
what you
you?
want,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
So having a role model is incredible because you're able to see, you get an idea. It's a
mm,
vision of this is what I want, this is where I want to be headed.
mm.
So that's also incredible. There's nothing wrong with having a role model,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and you have a vision of what it is that I want to become or where I'm headed. That is where I'm headed.
Yes.
But having a mentor is, for instance, like I said, they understand
Mm,
the landmines you're going to come across.
mm,
They understand the potholes that are going to come
mm,
along that journey. And
mm.
so it helps in that essence. And for me, it was a strategic move to go into an incubation program that provided
Mm.
such.
Wow.
But I needed to understand
Mm,
the relationship that a mentor and a mentee has and how
mm.
to drive that. And a lot of mentees don't understand that.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap there in terms of
Yes.
understanding the dynamics of this relationship
Mm.
and how to navigate it and drive it to where you need it to get you to.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. And how has your entrepreneurship journey
Mm.
allowed you to pour out knowledge into your mentees?
Ooh, I love that question. You know why? Because
Mm.
I want to relate it back to my staff members in my
Okay.
security business.
Mm.
So, my staff members, those who I started
Mm.
the business with,
Mm.
were actually security guards
Mm.
in the company that I previously worked for,
Mm.
right? And for me, I started mentorship then with them because I was impacted by their stories when I used to work, right? And
Mm.
I was an operations manager.
Mm.
So when I started my business then, it had to be a lean startup,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
I worked in the business
Mm.
as the person who was driving everything.
Mm.
But then I got into contact with these ladies and I was like, um, so I'm going to get a contract, right? And I
Mm.
want you guys to come in, but you're going to start out as security guards, but I don't want it to be for more than 3 months,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
We're going to try and find other guards to fill your roles because I want to train you guys to work in the office environment. I
Yes.
want to create that
That.
empowering
Yes.
environment for you.
Mm.
And I started with them. They
Mm.
didn't even know how to switch on a laptop.
My God.
They didn't even know how to get into a program, Microsoft Word, something
Mm.
that simple. And so mentoring them for me was so fulfilling because to this
Wow.
day, they are now driving the business. They are running the business.
My
When I
God.
can do all these other things and
Yes.
run these other businesses,
Mm.
they are making sure that that engine is moving because I mentored them in the beginning stages of the
Mm.
business
Mm.
because I had the time as well. And I said, I want to empower you so that you don't always see yourself as a security guard. You are
Yes.
more than that.
Yes.
And so I'm going to empower you
Wow.
so that in future you can then go into any other business and you
Mm.
don't have to start from God. You can
Yeah.
start from
From.
the office managerial level
Yes.
and move forward.
Yes.
And so that's how I started pouring out into mentees from the
Mm.
startup phase of my business.
Oh, that's great, eh?
Thank
And
you.
now you were in top 10 finalist 2022 in 2022.
Yes, Mrs. South Africa.
Yes. And
Yes.
that is the greatest achievement, and congratulations.
Thank you.
So, what were the learnings experience that you had there?
At Mrs. South Africa.
Yes.
Yo, I had so many.
Mm.
I entered Mrs. South Africa twice, right? I
My
entered in
God.
2021 and I
Mm-hmm.
entered in 2022. I'm generally a liker of things. And so for me, looking at the platform,
Mm.
when I entered the first year,
Mm.
looking at the platform and as a woman in security,
Mm.
I wanted to position myself, in terms of my business
Mm.
and position myself as somebody who advocates for the economic growth of women
Mm.
entrepreneurs.
Mm.
And so I entered that into the pageant with that in mind,
Mm.
right? Somehow, somewhere along the journey, I got lost in that noise because the hype that comes with being on Mrs. South Africa,
It's different.
everybody's excited. You come from a small town, so everybody's excited for you. And there's so many deliverables that you need to meet when you're in the pageant.
Mm.
And it can get so consuming if
Mm.
you're not rooted in why you entered.
Mm.
And I got consumed by that noise.
Yeah.
And I didn't make it as a finalist the first time round. But I went back, I reflected,
Yes.
I reflected on the misalignments, I
Mm.
reflected on what I could have done differently.
Mm.
And I thought to myself, I actually did not use that platform to derive maximum value of what I wanted to achieve on
Yes.
that platform.
Yes.
And when I went back the second time round, it was more for personal mastery,
Okay.
to achieve personal mastery as I grow into my purpose.
Mm.
And I was aware that I needed to be self aware
Mm.
so that I could show up better for my talents, show up better for the work that I do, and for
Mm.
the people that are looking up to me.
Mm.
And for me, that was a journey to just become self aware and to master myself through challenges, through adversities, through all these things that come with the journey.
Mm.
Quite proud of myself the second time round. Top
My
10.
God. And who's allowed to go there?
Anyone.
Even myself.
Of course you
Can
can
I
go there.
go?
Yes.
Can I go?
Of course you can enter as long as you're married,
Wherever you are
you're
watching,
South
please,
African.
please
Please.
let me know if I should go in the comment. Your comment will make me to go because I love it. Right?
Yes.
Can I go?
Obviously. I mean, if you love something and you want to pursue it, I will
Yes.
always advise somebody to pursue. Go for it. But be rooted in knowing why you are there.
Okay.
Because if you're not rooted in that, you
Mm.
will literally be blown from left, right,
I
you
think
know?
from today until the registration part, I'll be ready. You know why?
Yeah.
I will not just focus on vlogs. I will not go there for vlogs. I will prepare my mind. After this episode, I'll say, I'm going. These are my plans. I'm going
Yes.
to put them on the table. Because I know, more especially us as podcasters, the first thing
Mm.
that you need is to take pictures.
I love that.
You might go there with a different motive, but before you know it,
Yes.
you are just taking pictures.
I get it. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. That's what happened to me the first time round. You've got this motive. You are like, this is why I'm going there.
Mm.
And then you get there, you get caught up. You're like, wow, the glitz, the glam, the pictures, the content creation. Wow.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
we, as you are there,
Mm.
we understand that there are people that are following your footsteps there.
Yeah.
And what are you imparting on them? What mentorship are you imparting on them, more especially on a personal branding?
I think for the ladies that I mentor
Yes.
on the pageantry platforms,
Mm.
for me, what I impart on them, especially with personal branding, is
Mm.
that they need to be aware first and foremost that they are a personal brand,
Mm.
because a lot of the ladies are not aware that I am a personal brand.
Mm. Mm.
Define yourself as a personal brand.
Mm.
Show up as a personal brand.
Mm.
Know that you are a personal brand. And then once you know and you've defined what that personal brand is for you, then it's so much easier to cultivate your journey,
Mm.
and for you to thrive on the journey as well, because then you are building this personal brand.
Yes.
Right? And there's various factors that lead to building your
Mm.
personal brand.
Mm.
And we touch a lot on that in some of my master classes that I do with the ladies. So
Mm.
we've got structured programs
Mm.
that I do with the ladies
Mm.
in terms of building your personal brand or
Mm.
using the platform to build that personal brand.
Mm.
So, very important is for them to actually know that they are a personal brand and then define what that personal brand is.
Mm-hmm.
So that Ntsoaki doesn't define it for you, Boitumelo doesn't
Doesn't
define
define
it
for
for
you.
you,
Yes.
the next person doesn't define, because then you become very confused
Mm.
about who you are. And
Yes.
it reflects, especially on social media, because they use a lot of social media to look at
Mm.
what are you about, who are you,
Yes.
and if you don't know who you are,
Mm.
it literally reflects on your social media
I
that
hear you.
you don't have a sense of
I
direction.
hear you.
Yeah.
You are a personal brand. Wherever you are, please do not forget to leave this keyword. I am a personal brand.
Mm.
Yes. What are the three things that you say those who are not part of your mentorship, those who are not part of your mentees are missing out on?
Wow, that's an interesting question. That is quite an interesting question. The three things that I would say those who are not part of my mentorship are missing out on. So I've got three pillars
Yes.
that I base my mentorship
Yes.
um, on, which is plant, nurture, and grow,
Okay.
right? And in these three pillars, I focus specifically on the mentee, on
Mm.
how it is they can plant the
Mm.
seed of what's in their heart.
Yes.
So we then unpack that. How
Yes.
can you plant the seed that's in your heart?
Mm.
And then how do we nurture
Mm.
this? Because you need to plow,
Mm.
you need to nurture it, you
Mm.
need to ensure that the soil is well moist
Mm.
for whatever
Mm.
it is that you've planted.
Mm.
I help them through that and show them how to nurture
Mm.
that aspect and how to then grow.
Yes.
And in growing, it's on using platforms such as, if you want to go into pageantry,
Mm.
for a lot of them, they're in pageantry.
Mm.
How do I use then this platform
Mm.
specifically to grow
Mm.
that which I have planted?
Mm.
And so everything is a step and it's a pillar,
Mm-hmm.
and I teach you through each step. How
Yes.
do you plant?
Mm.
How do you nurture this?
Mm.
And how do you grow and
Yes.
accelerate and reach your highest potential and fulfill the highest expression of yourself
Mm.
on this platform?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I see you're sharing, positive and mentorship messages on your Instagram. I love
Mm.
it. I love it.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
And when somebody's looking at it, how does a person know that this time I need a mentorship in life?
How does a person know that they need mentorship?
Mm.
You get a feeling,
Mm.
a niggly feeling, like you mentioned earlier that um, you have a role model, but you've had times where you feel like I need a
Mm.
mentor.
Mm.
Usually, this happens a lot of the times in
Mm.
transition phases of your life.
Mm.
You know, whether you are starting out in a new position at work, whether you want to start a business, whether you are changing career paths,
Mm.
or whether you want to try out something different,
Mm.
and you're looking for somebody who's walked that journey,
Yes.
or you're looking for somebody who'd be able to impart
Mm.
that advice. And it
Mm.
needs to be credible advice,
Mm.
because you need to get advice from somebody who's also winning in their lane. I get it.
Yes.
So that's when you know that you need a mentor. When you've got those feelings of feeling stuck, feeling
Mm.
stagnant,
Mm.
and you want to transition to a certain phase, but you
Mm.
don't know how to do it, perfect time to seek mentorship.
And let's say the social media platform, especially Instagram, how
Mm.
is it helping you to grow in the mentorship industry?
Social media.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose social media helps me drive my message as
Yes.
a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
It helps me reach new markets, reach new people,
Mm-hmm.
and to reach my ideal customer.
Mm.
Because for me, I don't focus on just anyone.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
I don't just mentor
Anyone.
anyone. I
No.
don't. I don't necessarily mentor somebody who just got out of high school who's going into
Mm.
university.
Mm.
I don't necessarily mentor somebody who's just gotten out of university into the employment space.
Mm.
I mentor people more in their 30s, moving into their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Mm.
And because I feel like that is the point where you start seeing yourself
Yes.
as a global citizen, where you're looking for more meaning in your life. What is my
Yes.
purpose?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Mm.
And so I mentor women who are specifically in that transition phase of their lives. And so yeah. Sorry, what was your question again? I missed it. Girl, I missed your question. Oh
Uh,
my goodness. What was your question
now I'm
again?
thinking, what is it that I asked? Social media.
Oh, social media. Oh, so that's how I use social. So that's how I use social media to grow myself
Mm.
as a mentor, to reach new people as a mentor, and just to get my message out there. So yeah.
You know when you love what you're doing and you love talking, you
Yo,
just talk.
I'm so passionate, eh?
you, you can tell. You can tell.
I'm so passionate. I could talk the whole day.
You can tell. And now your journey in Turkey is
Yeah.
is truly inspirational.
Thank
We
you.
love what you're doing. I know there's somebody that is watching, that is
Hmm.
listening to you now,
Mm.
and they want to connect with you. Where can they find you?
Oh, they can find me anywhere.
Yeah.
You can literally find me
Even on this platform.
You can find me anywhere. No,
Yes.
no, actually not anywhere, but um they can find me on Instagram,
Yes.
and I'm on LinkedIn. So those are the big social media platforms that I'm actually on.
Yes.
Instagram
LinkedIn.
and LinkedIn. I am on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but barely on Facebook. You would get a response quicker on Instagram or LinkedIn from me. And then on my emails, info@ntsoakisibiya.com, ntsoaki@ntsoakisibiya.com.
And Instagram handle?
Instagram handle is Ntsoaki Sibiya, and no, Ntsoaki_Sibiya.
Okay.
And on LinkedIn, it's Ntsoaki Letutando Sibiya.
Okay.
Yes.
And before we go,
Oh, we're going?
sorry. No, we are coming back. Before we are definitely coming back on this platform.
Oh my goodness.
What advice can you give to my people?
Hey, Kiabua.
Yes. Yes.
I talk. You know what? I think I should just recite one of my favorite quotes, which
Yes.
is by Mary Ann Williamson, and it speaks to our deepest fear
Mm-hmm.
is not that we are inadequate.
Yeah.
Our deepest fear is that we are powerful
Mm-hmm.
beyond measure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is our light
Mm.
and not our darkness that
Yeah.
frightens us the most.
Mm.
Because we ask ourselves, who am I
Mm.
to be brilliant,
Yeah.
to be fabulous,
Yes.
to be talented?
Yes.
But who are you not to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
We are all children of God.
Yes.
And you shrinking yourself, there's nothing enlightened about, in fact, shrinking yourself
Mm.
so that other people around you won't feel insecure.
Mm.
We are meant to manifest
Mm.
the glory of God.
Mm.
It's not in some of us,
Mm.
it's in all of us.
Yes.
We are all meant to shine as children
Yes.
do.
Yes.
And when you let your light shine,
Mm.
you unconsciously give permission to the next person to let their light shine.
Oh yes. Or the inner person in you was just saying, "Oh, I hear you. Oh
Right?
God, thank you."
So for me, in closing, it's very important for you to understand and know what illuminates that spark in you,
Yes. Yes.
that
It is.
fire that burns in you, so
Yes.
that you, in your own way,
Yes.
can illuminate the world.
I hear
So
you.
what sparks that fire in you?
Yes.
What sparks that fire in you?
Mm.
And then in your own way, amplify the best of who you are,
Mm.
fulfill the highest expression of yourself,
Mm.
and illuminate the world in your way.
Thank you so much.
Right?
Thank
Keep
you
it
so
much.
Really, Wangwanis.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, family.
Thank
Here
you
we
for
are.
having me. Oh
Look
my
at
gosh,
it.
this was fun.
You know, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate, and we
Thank
are looking forward to
you.
see you again.
Thank you to me. I love what you're doing. You
Thank
know,
you.
I love the platform that you've created for
Thank you.
women such as myself.
Thank you.
I wish you well on this journey.
Thank
You
you.
know, you're going to achieve amazing things because what I love the most about you is your mindset.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
for
you.
me, I feel like that's what defines people. That's what
Yes.
differentiates people
Mm,
from the next is your mindset. You've got a
thank you.
winning and thriving mindset, and I love that.
Thank you so, so much. I really
Onwards and
appreciate it.
upwards, queen.
Thank you so much. Family, thank you so much. You have heard, you have seen. There's nothing bigger than this. What we have here today, I'm telling you, let's move, let's thrive, let's run. You know, you are the brand. I am the brand. What you are, run with it. Do not shine with other people's brand. You are the brand. Thank you so much for watching. Wherever you are, please do not forget to leave your comment. Do not forget to subscribe. And I will see you on the next episode. And wherever you are, God bless you. And I love you so much. Bye.